Buddha was sitting under the Bodhi tree in India on the night of his enlightenment. One of the recollections he had was of when he was about 7 years old, still a child, sitting under the rose apple tree while his father, the king, performed the royal ploughing ceremony. Being a child, he had opted to not sit with the main entourage because the ceremony had less importance for him. But he went off and sat under the tree and quite naturally began to meditate on the sensation of the in and out breath. And he quickly calmed himself down and experienced a feeling of joy and well-being. And he sat there for a long time, very peacefully. So then, many years later, sitting under the Bodhi tree, the Buddha remembered the gladness, the happiness in his mind from that occasion and took it as a starting point for practicing mindfulness of breathing as he sat under the Bodhi tree. He had already been striving, following the ancient ascetic practices of India, such as fasting, holding his breath, putting a lot of pressure on the body, and realized that that didn't work. It hadn't brought him peace or understanding. So now he took a slightly more peaceful way of cultivating mindfulness of the breath. So he spent the first part of that night of his enlightenment paying attention to the feeling or the sensation of the in-breath and the out-breath. We don't have a lot of detail, but perhaps it was at the tip of his nostrils was the spot where he focused his attention and just kept bringing his mind back to that one spot, noticing the breath go in, noticing the breath go out in a very relaxed way, but he was alert. He wasn't tense. He wasn't creating pain or stress out of what he was doing. In a very relaxed way, he was just paying attention to the body by using the breath as an object of mind. And he was developing the same gladness and sense of well-being that he had experienced before. So when we come to meditate, we bring our attention to the body in the present moment, and beginning to pay attention to our posture, how we're sitting. Try to sit up straight, put energy into the way we're sitting. If we're sitting on a chair, not to slouch or lean back too much, because that can be the cause for sleepiness. If we're sitting on the floor cross-legged, then try to find a reasonably comfortable posture. There may always be a little bit of aches and pains, which we'll have to put up with patiently. Just pay attention in the beginning to your posture so that you know whether you're creating any undue stress or pain by forcing your muscles into one posture or another. Try to relax that. And then bring your attention to the feeling of the in-breath, the out-breath at the tip of your nostrils. And every time you lose awareness of the breath, gently bring your mind back to that place. Re-establish awareness of whether the breath is going in or the breath is going out. If you're beginning your meditation and you're quite stressed from something that's happened earlier in your day or your life, then you have to allow for that. Allow yourself some time to settle down, but use the breath as a friend and a technique to let go of those stressful memories or stressful emotions that are coming up. Because the breath itself is not stressful. It's very ordinary, neutral. And the breath is not good or bad, right or wrong. The breath is just the breath. It's just a feeling, a sensation of air coming in and out of the body. So we can know it, but it's not increasing our stress or suffering. If we're becoming stressed as we meditate, it's because we are caught up into our reactions and our memories about other things, and adding that on to the experience of practicing mindfulness of breathing. So if you notice that, remind yourself to let go, relax, be patient with whatever else is coming up in your mind, and keep returning to the breath over and over again. And if you develop continuous mindfulness of the in and out breath, then your mind will settle, your mental energy will gather together, you'll feel better in body and mind, and you'll be brighter, more alert, more content as you meditate. And that's what the Buddha found, and the Buddha encouraged us to do the same. So we can carry on practicing for a period of time till you hear the sound of the bell.